I just realised we didn't do any sort of introduction. So we're going to have to do that at the end. It's because we were just talking.
Oh, are we on it now?
Yeah.
You're lying.
You don't see a little...
I did not know that, but yeah. I don't get nervous. Then when you've done...
when you were an amateur?
When I was an amateur, maybe I got nervous. But do you know when you've done it for so many years? What is it, like 11, 12 years I've done this for? Like, I do not get nervous. Everyone's like, oh, really? You're not nervous? They're like, you must be. Probably walking up to the ring and actually when you see people for the first 10, 15 seconds and everyone's cheering and that, might get nervous then. But after that, I'm not bothered. The occasion doesn't get to me.
I think for me, I'm quite emotional when it comes to sport. So obviously when the Premier League music comes on, I'm literally like and I get tears in my eyes, and I'm like, before all of my friends fight, I well up.
No, do you know what? I understand that, because like if it's not me actually competing and I'm watching my brother, watching one of my friends or something like that, or maybe even with the football, then yeah, I can take all that in. But when it's you and you're knowing you're getting in that ring, you're fighting, or you're doing whatever sport you're doing, then it's a lot different. I'd rather just get in there than take it all in and let that atmosphere overwhelm me more than anything. So I'm not really like that with it. It's like a blink and it's done, really.
Do you find you take like every single emotion out of it?
I'm really emotionless anyway.
Are you?
Yeah, like honestly, super emotionless. Everyone says it to me, like.
When's your birthday?
March 16th.
You said you should be very emotional.
Yeah, so I'm very emotionless. So like, for me to build emotion for a fight or just to fight someone, that's out of character for me. Day to day, I don't really feel.
Even
much.
in amateurs.
Yeah, even in amateurs. I think in amateurs more so. I was cold, very very cold. I wanted to hurt everyone, be over quick, and just.
You had something like awful happen in your life. Do we need a therapy session?
No traumas around
sure?
it. I'm learning. You just got to learn to be emotional, innit? Yeah.
I can help with that. I can probably cry on cue.
Do you know what? I feel like I can fake cry.
No, I find it deep in my soul. So, for example, I was at Boreham Wood, and there was this tiny. They must have been like 2.5, 3. Had this like massive football kit on, and I saw it, and I went, and I've looked off into the stands, and my friend Jay looked at me and he went, not again. And I was just like walking back to my seat, welling up.
No, I can't do that. It takes a lot. So who knows? There might be some trauma there.
Undisclosed. You clearly blacked it out, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we don't know, but yeah, I don't mind the way. Do you know what? I feel like as a boxer as well, you need to have that cold, emotionless part about you.
But you have emotions when you win.
Yeah, you do. But how long does that last?
You tell me.
Probably the night out, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And then you've got to do it all over again, then, haven't you? Like, it's just one of them. It's all short-lived for the big build-up and to everything. The weeks on in camp, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, and then for it to last a night, everyone messaging you, all the emotions coming in, and then after you've won, after it's done, it just disappears then, don't it?
Do you dread turning your phone back on after a fight? Because I think for me that would just be too much.
Do you know what? I used to love it when I was first starting out, and then you get all the messages, and you think, yeah, I'm the man. Like, you're thinking, yes, I did this, and then you don't hear from anyone after that. So really, it's like it's hit and miss. It is good at the points, but then after that, it's dead again. Till you announce your next fight, till you message everyone for the tickets and whatnot. You don't really. There's not much to do, because like if you're actually a professional boxer and you're living the life, you're not out all the time in between camps and whatnot. So you don't live that experience 24/7. It's just that one night, and then it's gone. Which I guess that's what most boxers live for. Like, we live for that one night. We live for that times where you're gonna get the praise or whatever, but it just comes and goes as quick as it is.
What I've noticed is that how many people are there to support you after a win, but in camp coming up to it, you have a handful of people.
Yeah. No, come through. It'll get edited anyway. No, that's true. You've got everyone there off people that you've not heard of in years. I swear to God, yeah. Everyone of my ex school friends, people that I've never even spoke to, message me when it's after I've won and stuff like that. But then you don't hear from them after. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how their life's planned out. I've never seen these people. I could walk past the streets and walk past them, and they probably wouldn't say anything to me, and I probably wouldn't say anything to them. But after I've won a fight, they'd be the first to message me. Which do you know what? Which is a good thing sometimes, like, because people watching and people still checking up on you. Like, it's not a bad thing, but like just for that sole reason. If it was an everyday thing and they just checked up on you once in a while, then that would be different. But just because it's the one occasion, because yes, I've won a fight and this is that, it feels like, oh, that's the only reason that they message me.
But does that give you that extra sense of you know who to stay clear from?
I just stay clear from everyone. I'm antisocial. But nah, it does. It does. But at the end of the day, at the same time, you need all these people. You need people to support you online. You need people to watch your stuff and like stuff after you've won. Because if you're not drawing that attraction, drawing that attention, negative attention, positive attention, then it's pointless if you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, I know you're doing it for you, but at the end of the day, you're doing it so people can see it.
I feel like I've not seen much of you since the boxer tournament.
I've been about. Didn't you? I was on a Probellum show in November.
What happened to Probellum?
I don't know. I don't know. I've got a lot of questions. I was never with Probellum, so I don't know what happened to the whole company and whatnot. So I just went about. I boxed on a Probellum show and then just moved on from there. I've been a little bit more quiet just because I've relocated. So I was in Sheffield, trained in Sheffield. And then I've moved to Manchester. I'm now training under Ant Crolla. So I've been a little bit quiet while rebuilding myself, building my career back up, getting ready for something big towards the end of the year, towards the start of next year. That's my plan for now. I'm not really bothered about being in the limelight while I'm getting myself prepared, while I'm building, while I'm learning new things. But once people see me, once people see what I've got to bring, then that's when I'm ready for everyone to take it in.
Were you training with Grant at Steele City?
So I was at Steele City with Grant for about 7 to 8 years, and then I was with Liam for about a year or 2 years, and then I've just moved up to Crolla's, and that's nearly been a year now that I've been up here. Yeah.
I can tell you're getting a little bit more mank in your accent.
Yeah, do you know what? Being around all the older people, all you ever hear is angin.
I thought you said old people then.
No, older
so
people.
Don't say that to Anne.
All you ever hear is angin. That's angin. That's all you ever hear. Yeah.
What differences have you noticed from Grant to Ant? If anything.
Do you know what? More similarities. They're both really advocates for boxing. They both really love boxing. Like, they've both been in boxing forever. They study boxing inside and outside, and the biggest similarity is they both know what they're doing. Like, they're really good at what they're doing. They're training good fighters. Crolla just got his first champion in Rhiannon. Grant's obviously got world champions, European champions, Commonwealth, British. So Crolla is doing what he needs to do. He's taking the right steps, and he definitely will have a world champion in the future. Might be with me, might be with some of his other fighters, but he's going to have champions in that gym.
So I'm a bit sad that we couldn't go down to the gym because I'm a massive Rhiannon fangirl. But who else has you got in that gym? You, Rhiannon?
So there's me, Rhiannon, Sahir, Bobby, Will, James, Jake. I hope I didn't miss anyone. But
imagine if you did.
No. Yeah, so there's a few of us coming at the minute, and the good thing about the gym is everyone's round about the same weight. It's probably a weight or two up, a weight or two down. I think I'm the lightest, and then super welter is the heaviest. So we all get great in-house sparring. Manchester's a massive city, massive boxing city, so there's loads of gyms local. So we've got loads of sparring in touching distance. Really, everyone comes to the gym. We go to other gyms, so it's really good.
So taking it back to the boxer tournament, you had a bit of negative press from your own doing. How did you kind of push past that? And do you feel like you've had to rebuild yourself in a sense that way?
Nah, do you know what? Because I had the biggest positive press from the boxing tournament, because everybody that knows boxing, everybody that watches boxing knows what happened in the fight. So the decision is subjective to what people like at the end of the day. And just because of how I took that, how humble I was at that, I had the biggest like praise, and I was actually trending on Twitter.
How many?
I was up there.
Did you screenshot it?
No, I didn't screenshot. Everyone else told me. But then on the back of that, there was loads of back and forth. Like no one really saw it. Even in the hotel after that, like there was back and forth between me and said person. And
then face to face.
Yeah, face to face. But I'm on smoke, so you know it's. But like obviously what I said just come across wrong. Like no one wants to do that to anyone in the ring. But like me and Lee, we've got on before, and probably after we've both boxed, we'll probably get on. It's just one of them things when you're fighting. Me, I don't like anyone in my weight. I don't like a single person in my weight. I don't care who they are. I don't care if I spoke to them. I don't like. If I'm gonna end up fighting you, if there's a possibility we're gonna end up fighting, just know, till we fight, me and you will never be friends. Like we might say hi, we might say cool, might touch fist and that, but we will never be personal friends.
Because you're emotionless.
Yeah, I think it is that. So I'll never let myself build that connection with them. So that's how it.
So what do you think about Boatsi and Aziz then? Because they're good friends.
Yeah, and
you can never do that.
I could do that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I could do that.
You just won't speak to them.
I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't like them. Everything that we did in the previous, if we were friends, we did this and that would all go away, and we couldn't be friends. Like you might speak about the good times, but nah, I don't play with that. So like with Dan and Boatsi, you can see it a little bit with them too. Like in the build-ups and everything, like there's been a bit more back and forth, a lot more than I expected. Really, I thought there was going to be best friends leading up to the whole fight, but you can see that they're both serious about what they want to do. They both want to beat each other. Someone might get hurt. You never know. It's boxing at the end of the day, but they're ready to do that to win at the end of the day, and that's the good thing about it. But then after that, you just know that they can be friends again because they're both nice guys. Like I know the both of them. I know Dan probably a little bit more, but I've seen Josh, been around Josh, seen him training and that, so I know them both quite personally. So they're good guys, and may the best man win. Who
wins that for you?
For me, you never know.
Go like this and mouth it.
Can't do that.
I'll do it.
Oh, you do it then.
I didn't even mouth it, I just like whispered it.
Let's just say we've got different opinions.
Really?
100%.
I think I would have liked to have seen Boatsi out a little bit more before this fight. Not to say that he doesn't have it in his locker, but
yeah, of course. But I feel like with the level he's always competed at, amateur and currently as a professional, because he's actually competed at a good level. I feel like this is a good fight to jump into.
My worry is that he's jumping into it though. That's it for me.
But you've got to see if you can swim, don't you? You won't know until you jump in. So for me, it's going to be tough starting rounds, and we'll see how each fight grows into it. And I think whoever can dominate their pace, their timing, the distance is going to win, because it is going to be a distance fight, because Dan's an inside fighter, and Boatsi likes to keep it long, likes to get the 1-2 off, likes to hurt people from that 1-2. So whoever can keep their composure wins the fight for me.
Speaking of people in your way, do you have any fight news coming up?
I have got some fight news actually. I will be boxing on the 25th of November, maybe even the 14th of October if anyone pulls out of that show or whatnot, because I'm a constant professional. I'm always in the gym, always training. I only moved up to Manchester to train. That's all I do. So I'm always ready to fight, not too far off my weight. So I'll definitely be fighting on the 25th of November and potentially be fighting on the 14th of October. But with me and my fights, I don't need these warm-up fights. I don't need these 6-rounders. I don't need these 4-rounders. I want to be in good fights. I want to be in 50-50 fights. If I'm not in them types of fights towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, 100%. If I'm not in a title fight in February, then it's like, what am I doing this for? Like that's the type of fights I want to be in.
I think Ant will get you there, though.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he knows my ability. He knows my levels. My manager, Kevin Marine, knows my abilities. He knows my levels. He knows that any of these, my weight category, I can compete with easily. I wouldn't be in the deep end with any of them. So I'm just ready to be there at the minute.
Who do you want to go into title fight against?
So I want to be really traditional. So I want the central area, English, and then move up that way. So Jimmy Joe Flint, which is a good friend of mine at the minute, he is central area champion.
Well, you just have to not like him for a bit, won't you?
That's it. But I can compete at lightweight or super lightweight. So either.
You're quite tall for a lightweight.
Yeah, massive for a lightweight. But my last fight, I made 9 stone 13 on the day. So I could make 9 stone 9 or 9 stone 8, whatever it is, or I could just make super lightweight, just wherever I'm feeling comfortable. Trying to build a lot more muscle, keep a lot more weight on out of camp, to make that super lightweight and feel stronger as I do at lightweight. So that's where we're looking at the minute with fights. So wherever titles open up, that's where I'm looking to be.
If titles opened up slightly heavier, would you go up?
Or
not at the minute.
You know what? Not at the minute, because these welterweights sit flipping heavy. Obviously, there's a lot at my gym in a minute, and I spar a lot of them and all that. But when I'm coming down in weight and they're still quite heavy, you can feel the difference in strength. So I don't think I'm ready for that jump up to welterweight yet, because I'm still just getting used to sitting at lightweight, sitting heavy at lightweight. So welterweight isn't the place for me at the minute.
Soon though.
Yeah.
You might find as you get a bit older,
do you know what?
your bones get heavier.
I am tall. I'm about 6 foot. So I feel like if I really, really trained and stuck to it and worked on my eating more than anything, I would make a good welterweight, just because I'm not a big eater. I've never been a big eater. Like, even when I'm training, like I was saying to you, my nutritionist has to tell me when to eat and force me to eat and this, that, and so I probably will build into the weight soon. You never know. I might just jump up 2 weights randomly one time.
I've got some good welterweights you could.
I've sparred so many welterweights, and I'll continue sparring them. But I know that I've got the beating of a lot of them. So there's nobody that I'd ever think, oh no, I wouldn't fight. Like, I'd always jump into it, especially a 50-50 fight. Like, that's what the game is for. We're not meant to fight journeyman till we're 20-0 or this and that. Like, what's the point?
Like, a lot of people
like end up getting beat.
Yeah.
And what's the point in that? So for me, career wise, I know my trajectory, I know my timing, I know where I want to be and what I want to be. So that's the most important thing.
It's nice to have a direction. So I've been a bit confused, because obviously you mentioned Ellie, you were born in Newham. You lived in Sheffield for like 7 years, and now you're in Manchester. But are you from Sheffield?
No. So I'm actually from London. I was born in Newham General.
Yeah.
East London boy.
So how long did you live there?
So I lived there till I was about 9.
See, he had me thinking he was a proper northern, and he's not.
Yeah, well, we love the northern culture, Sheffield United and all of that. But yeah, Sheffield has become my home. Most of my friends, all of my friends really, Sheffield based. All my supporters.
From a young age.
Yeah, all my supporters, most of them come up from Sheffield. But yeah, like, I've got a lot of family in Manchester as well. So Manchester is going to be my new home. I don't see myself moving back to Sheffield anytime soon. So this is where I'm going to settle. This is where I'll end my career. I'll end my career with Anthony Crolla, and that's where we're going to go.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a big statement.
I'm true to my word.
How does Ant feel about that?
Well,
it's done a year with you, so.
Do you know what? I like to annoy James a bit, from James from the gym, but I feel like I push a lot of the fighters at the gym. Like, when I'm serious, which is most of the time, I'm very serious, and I push the pace at the gym, and I do like to take control sometimes and ensure my authority, even though I'm very new to the gym, but I'm a hard worker, and that just pushes everyone else on. So he does like having me at the gym. Like, I have been an asset to the gym rather than a hindrance. I don't slack off anywhere. So it is good being there, and everyone's the same.
Good. That's like what being a professional is all about, isn't it?
Yeah. I like to be number one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's number 2?
There's a fight for number one at the gym at the minute. I'd say, obviously, like I said, I like to be number 1. So there's a fight between number 2 with Rhiannon and James. So
I've got Rhiannon number 1, but
they've got to dug it out.
Throwing back to your amateur days, how many amateur fights did you have?
I had 29 amateur fights.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what? I did very well as an amateur. I only started amateur at 17 years old. So I started around 17. I had 29 fights. I won around 25, and I won 2 national titles. After my 6th fight, I only boxed in championships. I boxed everyone there was to box at the time. That had so many more fights compared to me, and I beat a lot of good kids. So I couldn't complain. But with me, when I was done with the amateurs, I was done with it. I said to Grant one day, Grant, I'm not feeling this. I want to turn pro. I didn't want to try get onto GB, try get onto England and stuff like that. I knew because I started late, I'd have to move quicker.
How old were you when you turned over?
How old was I? It was 2018. I have no idea.
20.
Yeah, about 22, 23. Yeah, 22,
It's
23.
quite young.
Yeah.
Mind you, I see some proper young fighters turning over like 18. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, these days, a lot of the fighters don't even have senior fights before they're turning over, and a lot of them get turned over by journeymen who are just tougher, stronger, got more dog in them, and you see it all the time now.
That is what I say to everybody. Like, that's what journeymen are there to do. They're there to push you. They're not necessarily every time. They're not turning up to win. Although a lot of them nowadays are sticking it on them. I had a couple of conversations with Poochie, and he was just like, just annoyed me, so I flattened him, and I was like, sorry, Pooch.
Yeah, no, it gets like that. Like, my first loss was to what's his name? Kid that was 2-1. Obviously, he weren't a journeyman. Like, he had a winning record. This was up at welterweight actually, and he was just too strong. I was too young, too strong. I was just doing my own thing, and it was like I needed to take a step back and take my time with it more and find myself.
Got a bit ahead of
way.
yourself.
Yeah. And then my other 2 fights that I'd lost. I boxed good kids, and I lost by a point, and some of them were what's the word? It was can't even think of it. Well, people thought I won, people thought the kid might have won. So it was one of them. I've never been outclassed in any of my losses. My last loss that I took against the kid from Spain or wherever he was from, he was top 10 in Europe. Like, so it was a good fight, good step up to take. And I personally thought I was winning the fight, ended up losing my point, but it gives me that thing of knowing where I am, knowing where I am in the boxing world, knowing where I want to be, knowing where I can be. And that was the big reason for moving to Crolla's gym, because I know he's been there, done that, he's took losses, he's come back, he's been world champion. So if anyone was going to get me to do the same thing, it's 100% him. And the things that I've been working on, I've been improving. And if I thought the last fight that I lost again, there's no way it'd be the same outcome. I'd stay more disciplined, I'd stay switched on, and it'd be a shout-out.
That's one thing I think I find with the boxing community, is that once a fighter loses, they're automatically shit. Which isn't the case. Like Denzel Bentley losing against Felix Cash, for example, he's a completely different fighter that night to every single other night he's ever fought. And I don't think losses make people, but how hard did you take those losses? 'Cause they're not easy. It's not an easy night.
Yeah, my first one, obviously that was very, very hard. That was a hard loss to take. I had my nieces and my nephews and everyone watching, but to be honest, like, I had to snap out of it quick, because the big thing for me was, while my nieces and nephews were there, not showing them that a loss doesn't define you, and you can do whatever you want from that. You still got to hold your head up and not quit, keep going and stuff like that. And I feel like I did show them that. Like, my nieces and nephews are really active with the boxing, active with sports. So if I quit then and there, or show bad sportsmanship, then that's how they'll perceive as what's good to them. So I didn't want to do that. the boxer tournament loss, I just didn't feel like that was a loss. I still don't feel like that was a loss. Everybody that talks to me about it, no one ever says, oh, I watched that boxer tournament where you lost. It was, I watched that boxer tournament where you got robbed. I watched that boxer tournament where you should have won. That's where ever was like that one. For them 3-round fights, right, I'm not even bothered about that. That's not real boxing at the end of the day. My last one as well, that one was heavy just because I felt like I didn't do enough personally. It wasn't that the opponent was better than me or that he wanted it more than me. I just felt like I took the fight too light-hearted and I didn't do as much as I could have, and I had more left in the tank and I didn't do enough. That's what I thought.
So do you feel like the better man won on the night?
Yeah, 100%. And I told him that he follows me on Instagram, like he'll talk to me now and then, and like it is what it is at the end of the day. Like I know 9 times out of 10 I'd beat him, so it is what it is.
It's hard. Are you one for like flicking through comments and seeing what people are saying, or not really?
I used to be, not anymore. I don't flick through comments. I don't really go through my message requests. I don't really do any of that. Like,
there's some wild stuff in there.
Oh,
I've heard from boxers, like people asking to buy their groin guards after fights and stuff. You could earn a lot of money.
Yeah, you know, a couple feet pictures and that. I always get asked about them. But yeah, you know, no, one day you might see me with an OnlyFans. But
after a fight where they're all like blistered up.
No, you get some weird ones in a message request. You get people messaging people that you know, this and that, like
what, like your family members?
Yeah, all sorts. So it's weird as on the side. I just don't really bother with it. You know, after I'm out of the training camp or whatnot, I'm not too bothered about social media. I take breaks from social media now and again.
It's good for you. It's helpful.
Yeah, of course. Social media doesn't really do anything for me. Everybody on there just shows you what they want to show you. So that's all it is to me.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to finish on?
No, not really. No. Just keep an eye out on, because I really, really think I'm going to make a big stamp in boxing for myself early next year, with the team I've got around me now and the goals and the ambition, the drive I've got now. It's a lot different, and your why just changes, don't it? So I feel like with this all in play, there's going to be a big difference next year. So yeah, keep an eye out, people.
Do you know what I like as well? You've not a lot of people, when they come away from one gym and they go to another gym, they're very quick to be like, oh, that gym, and like some negatives. You've not been like that, so that's quite nice.
So when I go back to Sheffield, I can go to every gym that I was ever at and go train there. Like, I still go back to my first ever amateur gym and train there when I'm back in Sheffield. I could go back to Steele City and train there. I still go back to Liam at Concrete Canvas and train there. I don't think I've ever had a sour relationship with any of my coaches.
Not burn any bridges.
No, never. And that's one thing that all young fighters need to learn, that you don't need to burn bridges, because one day you might need these people.
I agree. It's good mentality. Okay, right. Thank you very much. Do you know what? I'm just thinking about doing this intro now.